Okay, that moment, right? The little ping after you click, buy now, that rush, you know? And suddenly it feels like you've actually grabbed hold of something, taken control.
Even if just for a second.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you knew you didn't really need that specific thing. Maybe didn't even, like, want the object itself.
But you bought it anyway.
I bought it because, I don't know, thinking about that package arriving, it felt like holding on to that more confident version of myself.
A put-together self.
The one who has it all figured out. The one who isn't awake at 3 a.m. wondering if they're, you know,
Yeah.
enough.
Precisely. You've just stepped right into the modern marketplace.
Yeah.
But you need to grasp this isn't really a market of, well, tangible goods.
No.
No. It's a marketplace of identities. What we're looking at here is the Psyche's shopping cart. And let me tell you, it is full of armor.
Armor, yeah, that fits. It feels less like just shopping and more like, I don't know, really high-stakes costume design for the Psyche, like you said.
Elaborate on that.
Well, I'm not just browsing for shoes, am I? I'm shopping for the version of me who can walk into a room and doesn't immediately feel like apologizing for taking up space.
The unapologetic self. Available now.
Or, you know, I'm not buying some expensive retinol serum just for smoother skin. I'm buying the fantasy of control, right? The fantasy of being looked at without feeling instantly judged.
And that is the core diagnosis we need to see. You buy the skincare for that illusion of, let's say, perpetual youth, which really means the illusion of having control over time itself, over decay.
Oh, okay.
Or you subscribe to that pricey sound bath app. Not really for the sounds, are you?
Probably not, no.
No, it's for the illusion that you can just sort of outsource your anxiety, hand it over to a nice pastel interface and a soothing voice. We're absolutely looking at wish fulfillment here.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Yeah, mate.
Because I get that the wish isn't really for the object, it's for the feeling, that immediate temporary emotional state that comes with it.
Exactly, the association.
Like those high thread count linen pants, they're not just fabric, are they? They represent like 2 days of perfect calm on some imaginary beach somewhere.
Tranquility, bottled, or woven.
And the new noise-canceling headphones. Not just tech, they're like a temporary force field against, well, everything. The open plan office, the existential dread, the whole lot.
That's precisely it. The market knows you aren't buying products. You're buying emotional band-aids, psychological buffers. And here's the critical part. They often understand your psychological craving much better than you understand it yourself.
Oh.
They capitalize on that exact moment you feel, shall we say, emotionally underfed.
Oh, I know that moment. The ritual even, the midnight scroll. When I open the app, not really looking for anything specific, but just needing to feel something different.
Yeah.
That swipe is hypnotic, isn't it?
Designed to be.
Scrolling past image after image of this, like, calm, organized, clear life. A life I definitely don't have. A life without all the inner noise. I add something to the cart, and I know intellectually I'm just buying another Band-Aid.
And right here we see this, well, quite seismic shift in the classic psychoanalytic structure, the id, you know, Freud's pleasure principle.
Yeah.
It's still there, still screaming for instant satisfaction. But now it screams 80 to cart, or swipe right.
Yeah.
The id has, in a sense, become pixelated.
Pixelated, huh?
And its main job now seems to be just making the bad feeling, the anxiety, the loneliness, that feeling of being insignificant, just making it stop.
Yeah.
Even if it's only for the 5 minutes it takes for the confirmation email to land.
So the id isn't demanding, like, I need love and stability. It's demanding, I need this limited edition exclusive hoodie.
Why, buddy?
Because exclusivity feels like being chosen, right? And being chosen feels like, I don't know, momentary safety. Safety from being abandoned or overlooked. It's textbook displacement, I guess.
But it's displacement that's been perfectly targeted by the retail machine.
Oh, absolutely. Neatly packaged, often delivered the next day.
But what's truly fascinating here is the superego. You know, the moral judge.
The inner critic.
Yeah. It doesn't really scold you in the old way anymore. It sells to you. That ancient guilt, not being good enough, being fundamentally flawed, it hasn't vanished. It's just been perfectly monetized, repackaged as, well, empowerment, self-optimization.
Right, but doesn't that kind of gut the whole moral dimension? If the superego isn't the voice of conscience anymore, but the voice of, like, commerce.
Yeah.
Where does actual internal reckoning even happen?
That's the question, isn't it?
It feels like I'm constantly getting this message. You should be more productive, and that translates immediately into buy the Notion template, or you should start your glow up, which instantly means buy the jade roller, get the fancy vitamin C serum.
Exactly. The moral punishment isn't old school guilt anymore. It's commercial FOMO, fear of missing out on your own potential.
Oh, that's brutal.
Why aren't you manifesting? Why aren't you scaling your side hustle? Why aren't you achieving the very specific aesthetic standards of wellness? The superego has basically evolved into an influencer.
So it doesn't say you're bad. It says,
you're not your best self yet. And guess what? That best self, it's available for purchase right now. Special offer.
the tenants is always a purchase. Okay, I see that. And that's why we get this perfect, slightly creepy merging of commerce and self-help, right? The whole self-help industrial complex.
Absolutely.
The traditional talking cure therapy, it gets replaced by shopping. Instead of, lying on a couch trying to unpack some core conflict, which might take years, I'm unboxing a perfectly curated self-love bundle from some small business promising transformation in like 3 easy steps.
Therapy is perceived as too slow, isn't it? Too messy. It requires actual, difficult internal work. Why dig into those core conflicts when you can just perform wellness instead?
Perform wellness.
Yeah. Think about it. The yoga mat with the affirmation printed right on it. The water bottle that basically guilt trips you into hydrating. The meditation app that gives you a Zen Master badge.
Guilty is charged on the app front.
You're performing healing. For yourself, sure. But also for your peers online. And maybe most importantly, for the algorithm that's diligently watching your every click.
Which brings us to the ego, right? Freud's reality manager. My poor modern ego feels completely burnt out.
Constantly negotiating.
Totally. It's juggling debt. It's trying to rationalize buying another skincare product this month as a self-care investment. And at the same time, it's managing the optics. My personal brand across like 3 different platforms.
So its primary drive isn't just survival anymore.
No, it feels like it's trying to perform a marketable version of survival.
It focuses entirely on that projected image then. The ego rationalizes, will this purchase make me look like the person I'm trying desperately to become? Will this fit my carefully constructed aesthetic of being a thoughtful, responsible, thriving adult?
I remember justifying buying a $40 notebook and a special pen because it fit my personal brand aesthetic. Of course, the notebook is still mostly empty. My ego is just working overtime, managing the metadata of my projected self.
It's exhausting work.
But hang on, is there ever a point where a purchase is just practical? Like, can buying a nice moisturizer not be a symptom of some deep-seated psychic trauma?
The essential friction. Of course, we need practical objects. We
Yeah.
live in the material world. But the minute the symbolic weight of the objects starts to outweigh its actual utility,
Oh.
we're firmly in the realm of compensation.
Hmm.
And where is this compensatory mechanism most glaringly visible today?
Where?
Dating apps. They are the ultimate marketplace of projected selves.
Oh, absolutely. My profile isn't me, it's a brand pitch. I'm not really looking for a partner sometimes. I feel like I'm curating an identity upgrade. The photos. They're marketing assets, they promise competence, maybe some tranquility, definitely no baggage.
And you find yourself attracted not necessarily to the person, but to the version of yourself you believe they will reflect back to you.
Ouch.
If they choose you, if they swipe right, if they respond, you get validation. A sense of completion. Proof of existence almost. They choose me, I must be real, I must be desirable. The stakes feel...
And that explains why, when a match just sort of fizzles out after a few nice messages, I don't really mourn the loss of that specific person I barely knew.
What do you mourn?
I grieve the identity I almost became with them. The sophisticated traveler they seemed to see, or the witty intellectual, or just the generally well-adjusted human. I mourn that projected, upgraded self that depended entirely on their validation.
What's fascinating here is the way we outsource our self-image so completely. We just hope the world will mirror back the version we prefer perfectly.
We think we're curating our identity.
You think you're curating your identity? I would argue no.
Yeah.
You're renting it.
Yeah.
And the landlord. Could be Amazon. Could be the founder of that latest coaching mastermind promising to unlock your inner CEO. You pay the subscription fee constantly in time, in money, and definitely in emotional energy.
Renting it. That makes the idea of repression feel even scarier. Because modern repression, maybe it doesn't just hide childhood stuff. It hides adult longing, doesn't it?
Longing for what?
For real non-transactional touch. For actual stillness. For just being held without having to perform. For a break from optimizing everything. And what leaks out instead?
Compulsive behaviors.
Yeah, buying 7 identical minimalist journals. Signing up for 3 different, very expensive online courses on self-mastery that I'll, probably never finish. The repressed part of me just clicks.
It absolutely clicks.
Yeah.
Because the click offers an instant, temporary, easily substitutable solution to an essentially invisible internal problem.
Mm.
And this leads us directly to what I'd call the colonization of catharsis through the mechanism of sublimation.
Okay, sublimation. Usually that means channeling difficult energy into something positive, right? Like art or sports or something constructive.
Traditionally, yes. But today, that life force, the libido, if you will, it gets subtly channeled away from deep creative work or maybe building healthy relationships. Instead, it's funneled into content creation, branding, metrics.
What do you mean?
Well, loneliness doesn't necessarily spur you to write a poem anymore or even just call a friend. Loneliness becomes content, a vulnerable Instagram caption perhaps, designed to drive engagement.
Wow.
Ambition doesn't necessarily build a sustainable career path.
Yeah.
It becomes building your empire, which often just means optimizing your sales funnels or social media reach.
So my drive isn't for meaning, it's for engagement rates. Completion badges on some gamified productivity app. I've turned my own life force into KPIs.
And the core pathology, the real issue here, is symbolic substitution. We've been systematically taught a new language for our most fundamental human needs.
Like a translation guide.
Exactly. I feel empty no longer translates to I need genuine, authentic connection and a sense of purpose. It now translates to I need a new skincare routine, or I need a new planner, or maybe I need that 6-week digital detox program.
And the more you substitute.
The more the original, real need just sort of atrophies. It becomes harder and harder even to recognize it, let alone figure out how to actually satisfy it.
Which leads straight into the loop, doesn't it? I feel that painful lack, whatever it is. I buy a product, a service to fill it. I get that little hit of temporary relief.
Fleeting.
Totally fleeting. Then the symbol fades or just becomes another useless thing I own, and the lack comes back, maybe even louder than before.
And instead of breaking the loop, which would require real, often uncomfortable work,
The market just sells me a better loop, a more expensive loop, a premium loop.
here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The trap isn't just buying things. It's buying, say, the course to become a life coach instead of actually addressing your deep dissatisfaction with your current job.
Or buying the expensive spiritual retreat that promises instant alignment.
Instead of sitting with the fundamental, maybe unfixable existential ache that we all carry to some degree. The dark joke in all this is that the algorithm probably knows your id better than you do. It feeds you exactly what you secretly crave, that feeling of wholeness, of being enough. But it only ever delivers the symbol of wholeness, never the substance. It keeps you perpetually hungry. It's essentially monetizing your desperation to keep up with that projected self you're performing.
Okay, that is profoundly unsettling. So, wrapping my head around this, what does it all mean for someone listening right now? My purchases aren't just about utility or even simple desire. They're armor against feeling small, totems against feeling emotionally porous.
It's mythic compensation for what feels like a spiritual void.
Mythic compensation, wow.
Exactly. We have to conclude, really, that the modern psyche has almost become like a SaaS, product subscription as a service.
Subscription to myself.
In a way, we get addicted to the fantasy of becoming, the upgrade that comes so conveniently packaged in a box, delivered right to our door. We prefer that to the real, messy, often painful growth that genuine change actually requires.
So we're building this whole symbolic world.
Where objects carry the weight that the psyche feels it can't hold alone. The issue isn't simple materialism, you see. It's far more complex, it's mythic. You're trying to buy your way back into a stable sense of identity.
And in doing all that, we've basically forgotten what we're truly hungry for. Because that original hunger has been so systematically rewired, hasn't it? The thing we're actually chasing, it was never really for sale in the first place.
And the twist, the irony perhaps, is that the cure, we can call it that, is also the hardest path imaginable in this context. What if you just stop substituting? What if you allowed the hunger to actually be hungry? What if you just sat with the ache, the emptiness, the longing, without scrolling, without buying, without optimizing anything?
God, the silence.
What would that silence actually say? In that tiny charged space between clicking add to cart and clicking place order.
It would probably be incredibly loud. Unbearably loud, maybe.
And yet, despite this conversation, we both have a pretty good idea what you'll probably do next time that anxiety hits, don't we? But don't worry, the analyst is already noting it down.